Hey guys, 30th vlog of the year. And I know that just yesterday I said that I wouldn't make another 6 a.m. vlog, but here we are at 6:32. You can't see that. 6:32. And we're making another vlog. So, it's just, I've resigned to fate. I was up late again doing more t-shirt design stuff. Actually, I am up late for no reason, but I did do another t-shirt design, but that was done earlier. Um, Now, today is Childhood Story Monday. So I thought it might be great fun to talk about video games in my childhood. Now I got started playing them and stuff. What my first system was, things like that. That's my bare knee. Oh my god. It's hot in here. I'm wearing shorts. Oh, pretty hot. It's steamy. Um, yeah, so my first video game system was a Nintendo Entertainment System, and the only reason I had it was because it was my cousin's and he got an N64. The year was 1996, so I was 8 years old. And the only experience I had had playing video games of any kind were Math Blaster on the PC, Math Blaster, and Jumpstart games, educational programs, Treasure Math Storm. I don't know if any of you guys are old enough to remember those games, but I played those on the PC. Also, what else? There was another one that I played. I don't know, they were all educational programs. And so then I got an NES, and I was like, whew, alright. And I mean, I played Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the NES, the second one, and the third one at my cousin's house before, and we had fun. But then you got an N64, and I remember thinking that the 3D graphics were just off the freaking chain. I remember being like, look at those graphics for the N64, and you look back at it now and you're like, N64, but you know, in 1996 it was awesome. Super Mario 64 was great. Anyway, I'll get to that in a second. So, and he gave me all of his NES games. And so like when I would have friends come over, we would play like Double Dragon and stuff, and it was cool because I had like other homeschool friends, so it's not like everybody had an N64. A lot of them just didn't have video games, so anything was cool. It was kind of a weird childhood in terms of video games. We played like Double Dragon. We played Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Never could beat that stupid game. Oh my god. What other two-player games did I have? I don't know. But anyway, it was fun. And then I got a Nintendo 64 Christmas 1998, so I was 10 years old. Uh, and I got my favorite superhero of all time growing up was Spider-Man. So I got the red Spider-Man cartridge. I still have it. It was the first video game that I actually owned that wasn't a hand-me-down. And it was about that time that my parents started caring that I cared about video games. Because before that, it was just like, well, your cousin's getting something new, so here you go, have fun with this. But then they noticed that I really, I really wanted an N64, so I got one for Christmas. The thing is, though, the Spider-Man game required a controller pack because this is in the age before, internal memory cards and all that stuff. And so, for the longest time, I couldn't save on Spider-Man, and it was awful. And, because you need a controller pack to save. And my parents were like, what? You need something else? And so, that in addition to the 30-minute time limit that I was given growing up, I could only play video games for half an hour at a time. I could only be on the computer or the internet for half an hour at a time, which wasn't a big deal when I was 10. But when I discovered AIM and I turned 12 and I started being interested in girls in like 7th grade, that was a big deal. Only being able to talk on AIM for half an hour. Sometimes I'd drag it out. Sometimes I'd lie about how long I would have been on. How long have you been sitting there, John? Oh, it's just about 10 minutes. It really had been like, 50. Anyway, so then I started playing stuff like Zelda Ocarina of Time, Super Mario 64, of course, Mario Kart, Pokemon Stadium. I never got into GoldenEye. I know that was not one of my childhood games growing up. Also, for those of you guys that are into point and click adventure games, I think what really got me into like hardcore gaming was King's Quest 6. My parents got me a CD-ROM of King's Quest 6, and it was because my other cousin had like recommended the King's Quest games, and they were really brainy, just cerebral puzzle games, action adventure. It wasn't much action actually. It was just an adventure game. I really want to do a playthrough of King's Quest 6 for Harshly Critical. I really want to do it. But it's just a mid 90s PC game. But King's Quest 6 is probably my favorite adventure game of all time. It's really, really just fantastic. I actually have it for Windows 7, but somehow I'm not able to capture it with Fraps with my current settings. So, but that might be in the future someday. Anyway, so that's just a little early history of my childhood. It's basically NES and 64. And then my friend Kurt gave me his old PlayStation. He just dropped by my house one day and was like, "Here, I don't use this anymore. You want it?" And it was because for my birthday he got me Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro, which was a PlayStation only game, and I didn't have a PlayStation, and it was the sequel to the original Spider-Man for N64. And PlayStation, and I was like, "Oh, I don't have a PlayStation." He was like, "Oh, you don't?" And so he just gave me his. And so basically, I got a bunch of hand-me-downs growing up. And by the time I had that PlayStation, I was like 12. So like, this is when Xbox and PS2 were coming out, and yeah. So and then what else did I do? Oh yeah, I downloaded Super Nintendo ROMs on the PC. So during this time, like age 8 to age 14 or so, basically all I played were NES, Super Nintendo, N64, and PlayStation games. Reverse burp. So anyway, so if you're just, if you're wondering, what it was like before video game consoles that can play Blu-ray, my God, we've come a long way. Yeah. So anyway, just thought that'd be interesting. Tomorrow's Pet Peeve Tuesday. Actually, today's Pet Peeve Tuesday. I know exactly what I'm going to talk about. Didn't expect that, did you? It is the 31st vlog of the year tomorrow, last day of January. Look forward to it. I'll see you guys later.